Welcome back, everyone. But if it's your first time, thank you for tuning in. I hope you join us on our grand adventure. You see, here on this channel, we're on a journey from 2010 to 2025, playing every game that has come out from AAA to indie, sleeper hits, forgotten treasures, and games that just went under the radar. But there are 3 rules. Number 1, the game must be available for purchase. For now, we're just focusing on PC. Number 2, we must beat the game in all DLC. Just getting to the credits on the base game and DLC is enough. And number 3, for every 1,000 subs this channel gets, you beautiful ladies and gentlemen pick a game that I've uploaded to this channel for me to 100%. Now that everyone's on the same page, we have a lot of games to play. Let's get into it.
The day is January 11th, 2010. 3 games came out that day. We did a few skips already. We skipped Matt Hazard. We skipped Assassin's Creed 2 Discovery. We skipped Chronos Twin DX. These are going to be the same as VVV. That's a quick recap. Today we're going to be playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, episode 1 through 4. So this is my first time playing, my first experience with this meme of a game. That's all I've ever known this game for, was being a meme. And now I finally had the chance to play it. I wasn't expecting this at all, and it was a pleasant surprise. I don't play too many virtual novels. I have played a few, but I do like detective stories or brain teasers, little puzzles. And if they're done right, they make you feel big brain, if you know what I mean. So you can buy the bundle on Steam for $30, and it gives you all 14 episodes, which is the full Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. And the first 4 we play today are kind of going to be more of an intro to the series. They show you how a lot of the mechanics work, some of the main characters or the characters that are going to be persistent throughout the story. So we're just going to break these down into each episode, and I think that's the easiest way to get a good understanding of what this game is about. And if you're interested, maybe you pick it up. So time-wise, episode 1 took about 50 minutes to complete. You just finished your degree. You're working under someone as an apprentice or an intern, and your long-term friend gets accused of murder. You decide to assist him in this case, believing that he didn't do it. Took about 50 minutes to get it done. The majority of that case just takes place in the courtroom. There's not a lot of looking for evidence, which you get into afterwards, but for this one, you already have evidence available to you, and they teach you how to use that evidence to prove your point in court. So the biggest thing while you're in court is that there's a lot of curveballs that come your way. Sometimes you can make a very good point in court, and the prosecutor will throw you a curveball, which you have to work around, and you can rummage through your evidence to try to make a counterpoint to it as well. So I think that's the most unique aspect of this type of mystery game, is that when you're in that courtroom, you don't know what really gets thrown at you, and you have to be creative with the evidence you get. Sometimes it's really obvious where the story is pushing you, but those curveballs can really make and break the game. So that first episode is more of a tutorial, introducing you to the basic aspects of it, and then the characters as well. So that explains why it's only 50 minutes. Then you get into the second episode where your mentor dies. You have to solve the murder of your mentor, which is kind of crazy because you get attached to your mentor and she's helping you out. So after her dying in the second episode, I was really confused personally. I was baffled. Where is the story going if she was supposed to be persistent, but her sister takes her place, and you find out that her family, they're median. So you have her sister, who is helping you with the court cases, who's more of a novice, but her older sister who passes away, your mentor, she kind of spiritually takes over her sister's body and helps you in crucial moments. This is your Deus Ex Machina. Wait, did I use that right? Anyways, so just to balance out that prosecutor throwing you curveballs, you have her on your side, which brings a lot of tension to that court case, because sometimes you can be baffled by the evidence that you're supposed to put together, and you feel really cornered, and then it's just part of the story, but sometimes it doesn't seem like it, and it's a really good way of hiding that tension. So I really appreciated that. On the first playthrough, not knowing what to expect as well, I was like, what do you want from me? How am I supposed to make this point? And I'd sit on the menu trying to look through the items and scratching my head, thinking as hard as possible, what am I supposed to do here? And then I'm like, screw it, I'm just gonna pick an answer. And then you pick the answer, right? Of course, being wrong. And then she pops out through her spirit medium, Yu-Gi-Oh! yo situation, and she saves the day, and I'm like, oh, all right. And it really has that tension build up, and I really like that one. Episode 2 was it took me 5 hours to beat, which is substantially longer than the first one. There was a lot of head scratching moments about rummaging through evidence, because this is the first time that they have you find evidence yourself. There is a finite checklist of things you're looking for, so you're like, okay, once I find these certain amount of items or evidence, I am done. Like, it's complete, and then the court case is ready. So they won't let you go to court without all of the evidence, which is really nice, but they will throw red herrings at you, which we will discuss later. But yeah, 5 hours is way longer, and I wasn't expecting it, but I was enjoying it, especially after the intro. I binged the whole thing, FYI. After the intro, getting introduced to the characters, and it was only an hour long, I was like, yeah, I can do this. This is great. The second episode being 5 hours was like, okay, we're pushing it a little bit. So after that, let's get into episode 3. Episode 3 gets away from all your norms as your main characters, introduces you to a lot of main characters, and gets significantly more, I guess, challenging about where the story is going. So it's a Hollywood murder with a lot of red herrings and misdirection, which really piqued my interest, because a lot of things that they taught you already are still viable. Like, that's how you get evidence and where it's going, but they throw characters in there that say things that kind of throw you off, and just you as the player are thinking the story is going this way when the information you have can be going 2 other ways. So now me as the player, I'm thinking, wait, this information that I'm given isn't right, because I think that this person should be the killer, and I need evidence to prove that. Meanwhile, the game has other plans. So this was one of my favorite episodes. This episode did take me 7 hours to beat. There was a lot of dialogue, there was a lot of talking, which I didn't mind, because the story was very interesting. Just standalone by itself, the idea of a Hollywood murder, who did it, everybody has a reason for why they killed somebody, and then they throw in some past things, which don't feel like an ass pull or anything. It's just the people's history and how they feel about each other. So as that unravels more, you're like, oh, you do have an agenda. This would be the reason why you killed somebody. So I really like this one. This was my favorite episode out of all 4. I don't want to spoil too much. If you guys do decide to play, I'm giving you like the bare bones of the story, and then if you go play, you can enjoy it yourself. Episode 4 has the rival you've been playing against that they build up in episode 2 and 3. He's been your prosecutor, because you're the defendant. You're usually defending someone. He's the prosecutor, and he is now accused of murder, which as soon as the mission starts or the chapter starts, he says, I did it, which puts you in a bad spot already. So that had me hooked. The best part about it is all the red herrings they had in episode 2 and 3, and they had this case that they keep going back and referring to, which you use bits and pieces of to finish your court case in episode 2 and 3, come full circle in episode 4, which I really like. I thought the whole time, I was like, why is this information here? Like, I'm not doing anything with it. In episode 2, I'm like, what? Then episode 3, it pops up again, and I'm like, what is all this information here for? Is it just to throw me off? And then to see all of it come full circle in episode 4, that you're like, oh, all that previous knowledge I was getting of a case that I'm not a part of that was so old, and it turned cold. It turned to a cold case. I'm like, why is this even being thrown at me? Is now being brought to light, and by the end of the case, you actually solve the cold case and solve your current case, freeing your rival. Although episode 3 is my favorite, episode 4, the way it was put together, I guess I can't even say that. Episode 1 through 4 was put together so beautifully, coming to a conclusion with a bow tie and beautiful wrapping on it and everything. So that's the rundown on the 4 episodes that you play through. I just want to touch on a few things outside of that. This is a virtual novel, so there isn't a lot of 3D space. They're just backgrounds that 2D characters pop up and you read the dialogue. But some of the environments were really cool, the areas that you can move through. So episode 1, I already said the majority of it, you're just in the courtroom. Episode 2, you're in your office, because that's where your mentor dies. But you're also in the police station because your mentor's sister gets accused of that murder. You're in a hotel as well because someone saw the murder and they're a witness witness that you have to interrogate. Episode 3, you're on this large Hollywood set and you're figuring out all the background that's going on there. And it's a really big campus, all the way from the security station up front throughout all the different sets that you're going through. And episode 4, you're at the police station again, but you're also at this state park overseeing the lake. It was just really nice. The music was pretty good. The best thing about it is when you're in the court case and they're trying to build up tension, there's a song that they play. And I think it's really fun. It's a fun one. The puzzles or the gameplay of it, they were pretty good. I'd say the way they put together all the story points with the evidence is a good stream of thought, because if you consider yourself a smart person, I know these puzzles are supposed to make you feel smart, but the way they put it together, if you're paying attention to the story, you can start piecing that together for the majority of it. But like I said, for episode 3, they throw some red herrings in there, some curveballs as well, which kind of subvert it's like, no, wait, am I overthinking this? Wait, hold on. And that makes you feel smart, but also makes you feel more invested, because you're like, no, I'm right. Like, that person's the killer with all this evidence where it's pointing. And I think that's really good, especially in a mystery game or a detective game. And then also having that court case on top of it and having to like show your work. If you came up to the answer, like, you know the answer to the problem, show your work, which I think is really fun. They do a really good job on it. It's a great brain teaser just overall. And me personally, I play a lot of shooters or RPGs. I haven't played like a detective game since I was a kid playing like Nancy Drew. So this really broke up my routine of gaming. All the stories were fun, and I guess the only negative I really have is I wouldn't recommend binging this. So I binged all 4 episodes. Oh, by the way, I don't think I said this. Episode 4 took me 9 hours to beat, and in total, all 4 chapters took me 22 hours to beat. So I do not recommend binging this, because by time episode 4, I was starting to get a little exhausted. Some of the dialogue, which was still good, it was just my fault for trying to do it all back to back. I started rushing some of it. I was like, oh man, all right, I see where this is going. Yeah, all right, cool. And I really should have paced this out a little bit more, because my enjoyment would have gone way up, especially on that last episode. But overall, Phoenix Wright, I get why everyone enjoys this franchise and how it became a meme in the first place, because people enjoyed having that back and forth in the courtroom, getting to meet these characters, because they go into depth about their histories and their relationships together. I thought it was just a really fun game. So overall, I do recommend it. If you haven't tried, at least try these first 4 episodes. I believe I have the whole trilogy. I bought it, and I know it will pop up again. We will be playing these. If you guys do play it, just tell me what you think about it, or if you have played it already, tell me in the comments. I would like to know what to look forward to, or how you felt about these first 4 episodes. Am I justified in feeling this was great, or do you think it was trash? But that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys. Have a good day.